The Roman army. The name itself conjures images of disciplined legions, gleaming armor, and eagles soaring over conquered lands. They were the engine of an empire, a force that forged one of the greatest civilizations in history through unparalleled military might. We celebrate their victories, their engineering marvels, and their tactical genius. But behind the glorious facade of conquest and order lies a much darker, more brutal truth. What was the real price of Roman military success? Today, we're unmasking the dark side of the Roman army, exploring the discipline, torture, and terror that were the true bedrock of its power. The secret to the Roman legion's effectiveness wasn't just superior tactics or equipment, it was discipline. And Roman discipline was a beast forged in fear. The centurion, the backbone of the army, wasn't just a leader, he was an enforcer. He carried a vine staff, the vitus, not for show, but to beat any soldier who fell out of line for the smallest infraction. Speaking out of turn, a moment's hesitation, sloppy drill work, all could earn you a swift, painful lashing in front of your comrades. This wasn't just punishment. It was a constant, humiliating reminder of who was in charge and the absolute obedience required. But a simple beating was getting off easy. For more serious offenses, the punishments escalated into sheer brutality. A soldier caught sleeping on watch, a crime that endangered the entire camp, would face the fustuarium. This was essentially being stoned or clubbed to death by his own fellow soldiers, the very men he had put at risk. It was a gruesome, personal, and terrifying spectacle. It's designed to etch the consequences of failure into the mind of every single legionary. The message was clear. Your duty is to the legion, and failure means a horrific death at the hands of your brothers in arms. Individual punishments were just the beginning. The Romans perfected the art of collective punishment to ensure unit cohesion through shared terror. If a unit broke in battle or showed cowardice, it could be subjected to decimation. The word itself, from the Latin for removal of a tenth, sends a chill down the spine. The cohort or legion would be divided into groups of 10, and each group would draw lots. The unlucky soldier who drew the short straw would be executed by the other 9 men in his group. Imagine the psychological horror, being forced to kill a friend, a bunkmate, someone you trusted with your life, all because your unit failed. It was a devastatingly effective tool for ensuring that no soldier would ever want to be the cause of such an ordeal. It bonded them not just in brotherhood, but in a shared, desperate fear of failure. This culture of brutality wasn't just turned inward. It was the face the Roman army showed to the world. When the legions marched on an enemy city, they often offered a choice: surrender unconditionally or face total annihilation.
This wasn't a bluff.
If a city resisted, the consequences were biblical in their scope. Take the famous siege of Alesia, where Caesar trapped the Gallic chieftain Vercingetorix. When the Gauls' food ran out, they sent their women and children out of the fortress, begging the Romans for mercy and food. Caesar refused, leaving them to starve to death in the no-man's land between the two armies. It was a calculated act of psychological warfare, a message to all of Gaul about the futility of resistance. And if a city was taken by storm, the rules of war, as we might understand them, simply vanished. The historian Polybius describes the Roman sack of a city in chilling detail. It wasn't just about looting, it was about systematic slaughter. Soldiers were ordered to kill everyone they encountered: men, women, children, even animals. The goal was to instill absolute terror. To make an example so horrifying that other cities would tremble at the mere mention of the Roman legions and surrender without a fight. This wasn't random violence. It was state-sanctioned terror as a tool of empire building. The screams from one sacked city were meant to echo across the entire province. Its brutality extended even to their own. Roman triumphs, the grand parades celebrating a victorious general, were a spectacle of power. But at the end of the parade route there was a dark ritual. The captured enemy leader, who had been paraded through the streets in chains, was taken to the Tullianum, a primitive prison, and ceremonially strangled. His death was the final act of the victory celebration, a stark reminder to the world of Rome's ultimate power over life and death. Even in victory, the Roman machine was oiled with blood. So, when we look back at the Roman army, it's crucial to see the full picture. Yes, they were brilliant engineers, disciplined soldiers, and master strategists. But their success was not built on virtue alone. It was built on a foundation of fear, on the back of brutal discipline that turned men into cogs in a war machine. It was built on the calculated use of terror that broke the will of their enemies, and on a system of punishment so severe it made battles seem like the safer option. The gleaming eagle standard of the legions cast a very long, very dark shadow. And it's in that shadow that we find the true terrifying cost of building an empire. Thank you so much for watching. If you found this journey into the dark heart of the Roman military fascinating, make sure to like this video and subscribe to our channel for more deep dives into history's hidden truths. Let us know in the comments what other historical topics you'd like us to unmask. Till next time, stay curious.